down for the drills. That's anywhere, that's anytime, you can still get pills. I'm aiming for weeks, so I'm aiming to kill. Set up in the men's, don't give a fuck, you can still get drilled. All I wanna do is crush that porn. My niggas them told me make peace before you go to war. I said fuck that, I wanna drill now and then drill some more. Smoke my man in the face, yeah that point got scored. Couldn't give a toss about law. Niggas no CP. More time if it was done by the 7, it was done by me. I ride for my G's, put my heart on the streets. So if you see me, that's not my teeth. So chat tough and I'm spinning round. Arch the upside, I spin the sounds. When I spin the bangs, try and know that's a nigga down. And where I'm from, we always know to keep things around. All the risks that the team be taking. That's why my nigga Nero's money.
Salute. Watcher, salute, bro. If you're still there. Tyrone, salute to you. If you want a link, you're more than welcome. Mark Wunderlich, salute to you, good brother. Yeah, smash that like button. Bruce Goes, salute to you, brother. Hope you're all good. Just quickly, want to talk about that. That was, oh man, they've got to stop up this guy's opposition because, okay, I know he was a former cruiserweight, but that guy just came for a payday. That was pathetic. How are you supposed to tell if Daniel Dubois progressed any better over this COVID or if he's getting better when you're seeing opponents like that who just come to just... Why did he bother come to fight? I think he threw one good punch, which was a right hand in the first round. By the end of the first round, yeah, salute to you, Kenneth Johnson and Oddfell. If anyone wants a link, you're more than welcome. Dubois made that look easy. Yeah, he did. He did, Watcher, you're right. But the thing is, anyone can make that look easy when you're fighting someone like him. He was 2 stone, 1 pound lighter. And he just came for get paid. He was looking at his cornerman as if say, "Oh, I don't want to fight no more." Right, I'll send you one now. What, Oddfella? That to me was just... You can't tell me that Frank Warren could not have found a better opponent than that. Okay, I know his original opponent. I just sent you the link now. Salute, Queen. I've just sent you the link, Oddfell. If you want to get on, watch it, you're welcome. Or anyone else. Salute to you, Flower. Yeah, Dubois versus Jones is next. We will see. Yeah. I tell you what, if people, right, criticise Joe Joyce for his last fight, at least his last opponent came there to have a go. This guy absolutely just lay down. Salute the Black Banter. Salute to you. That was... I rushed home to watch that. For what? Yeah, salute to you, Queen. That was the biggies. Oh, man. Frank, what? Listen, right. I know I might be moaning and stuff like that, but come on. You can't tell me that Frank Warren could not have found a better opponent for that guy, for Daniel Dubois. I don't know who them 18 previous fighters were, that Schneider had been fighting, but man, come on. What's good, odd fella? You all right, bro?
Yeah, y'all know what it is. It's your favorite, your most hated odd fella. Salute to the whole LDBC. Salute to you, Lost Punch Out TV. Same sentiments. You know what I mean? Why even come out? That was a terrible fight. You know what I mean? We can't blame it on Danny Dubois. We gotta really put this one on Frank Warren. There was some suspicious undergoings, you know what I mean, behind this fight. You know what I mean? Originally we had Eric Pfeiffer, who was supposed to be the original opponent. Not to say that he was gonna be a good challenge or something, but I thought he would have presented a little bit more resistance. Eric Pfeiffer does have a decent amateur background. I think there is even video on YouTube of him amateur fights with the likes of Joshua. So he's been in there with you know what I mean, with some definitely some other credible heavyweight boxers. So yeah, it was disappointing that I think the story behind why Pfeiffer didn't fight was the paperwork wasn't submitted in time or something like that. Yeah. But Team Pfeiffer disputes that, and you know what I mean, and they're kind of saying that Frank Warren isn't on the up and up. They probably look deeper into Pfeiffer and they're like, yo, this is a little bit more than a tune-up. So let's kind of, you know what I mean, let's kind of cut him off. And here we have a new opponent in this Ricardo Snijders. Now, this is the first white boy I ever seen or heard of with a name called Ricardo. You know what I mean? Every Ricardo I knew, you know what I mean, was either Trinidadian or Jamaican. You know what I mean? So that was interesting to see. But you know what I mean, in the ring, he presented no resistance for Danny Dubois. It was it was an embarrassment. You know what I mean? It was a waste of time. I learned more watching the undercards. You know what I mean? I'll be, you know what I mean, keeping my eyes open for Andrew Hutchison. You know what I mean? Because he looks pretty good. He had some nice spins in the pocket. You know what I mean? Uppercuts and a whole arsenal of punches. So well, once again, that fight was it was lousy to say the least.
I tell you what, even my son was rolling around on the sofa laughing his head off. He just said, "What the hell is this?" And he doesn't know anything about it. I've just sent you the link, Tyrone. I mean, good odd fella. This is why I go in on Daniel Dubois. It's not because I dislike the guy. It's because I can't see anything. What people are saying to me, oh, he's this next best thing. He's blowing people out the water and stuff like that. I can't see. I need to see more from this guy. All I'm seeing is him fighting tomato cans. That's all I'm seeing. I know it's not his fault. Like you say, you can only fight who's put in front. Oh, Pep, salute to you, bro. If you want a link, you're more than welcome. You can only fight what's put in front of you. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, Frank Warren is saying and publishing over here that this guy's the next best heavyweight and he's definitely going to be a world champion and stuff like that. I need to see this guy in a tear-up. I need to see it. And this is why I'm saying I can't make my mind up about it when I'm seeing him fighting fighters like him. Salute, Reggie. Salute to you, bro. If you want to get on, you're more than welcome. I can't make my mind up when I'm seeing him fighting. He was a disgrace, him. Them last two opponents that Daniel Dubois has fought, that Chinese fella and this Ricardo Snijders, an absolute disgrace. That was pathetic. He just didn't even have no interest in fighting. Towards the end of the first round, he was looking at his cornerman as if saying, I don't want to be in here. Get me out of here. Oh, no, man.
You got to blame the matchmaking. You know what I mean? At the same time, Danny Dubois is a young buck. He's only 22. We can't rush him too fast. He's already in line to fight a highly seasoned. He doesn't have much of a pro experience, but he's a highly seasoned boxer in Joe Joyce. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's a nice step up in class. We got the young blood calling out Dillian White now as well. He feels he's ready for that fight. His promoter feels he's ready for that fight as well. You know what I mean? Because we have his promoter jostling with Dillian White to the point where Dillian White has blocked old fish eyes. You know what I mean? So, time will tell with Danny Dubois. I'm slowly more a believer in him than I was before. It seems like you coming off the bandwagon, Lost. You know what I mean? And I'm jumping on. You know what I mean? Because I was earlier on. I wasn't on the bandwagon. I thought His IQ was a little bit limited when it comes in the boxing ring, and I just thought he was a little bit stiff in the upper body, and he was susceptible to a mover and a good right hand. But now I see, to be honest, I've seen improvements, not in so much in his opposition, but I've seen improvements in the boxer himself.
Yeah. Just one sec, fella. I've sent P-Boxing, and I've just sent it now to you, and I've just sent you one as well, Watcher. I've sent it via email. Yeah, I was. E. Woodson, salute to you, bro. To be fair, I hope you're doing good, E. Woodson. To be fair, odd fella, I've never been on the bandwagon with the guy. I've never been on the bandwagon, and I'll tell you the reason why, bro, is because of that Richard Lartley fight. I seen him getting pieced up in that fight, getting as good as he got, and he got okay. Lartley got knocked down, but like Mike always says, he took that fight at a short week, about a week or two's notice, and he got knocked down, and the ref stopped it straight away, and it was, oh no, mate, I don't know. I just can't. It just gets me angry. I'm angry because of that opponent. I'm not angry at Daniel Dubois, but I'm angry at what Frank Warren has just put on. That was absolute trash.
Fact.
Yeah.
Just salute you guys. Salute Watcher.
Salute Tyrone. Salute Watcher.
Salute.
The chat. But yeah, man, I was just laughing about what you said about your son coming in there.
Yeah.
And saying
He doesn't know anything about boxing, Tyrone.
Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty bad. I mean, I was just looking at it, and my brother walked past, and he was like, "Why do you look angry?" I was like, "I just know this fight is going to end pretty soon. I just want to finish quickly." The intros took longer than the fight did, I felt. It was just, I don't know, it was trash. The guy just sat down, kind of, and he was too big. And one of the commentators said it. He said it's a pea shooter versus a tank or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that. I mean, like I say, to blame that is Frank Warren. Yep. Because apparently this guy was, well, you can obviously tell he was a cruiserweight. That lad, that Ricardo Schneiders, I don't know who them 18 fighters who he's been fighting before, but I think they made that record up because that guy, that was pathetic. That was absolutely pathetic. He took a couple of body shots and he just didn't want no smoke. He didn't even try, did he? I think he threw, like I say, one half decent punch and that was it. So watching.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime, bro.
That was always going to happen. You know, it was a late replacement. It was, I think the guy was German or something. I don't know where he was from. No one really knows who he is. But Frank's very good at getting his fighters soft touches.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Tyson Fury even. You know, he got plenty when he came back to fight Wilder the first time and even in between with Top Rank, working with Bob Arum. So, you know, you're going to see that from him. Joe Joyce, though, has the better resume than Dubois. So it is sort of like, I mean, he's fought Bryant Jennings, he's fought Bermane Stiverne, he's fought Lenroy Thomas. He made it look easy against Kaladze, and he's fought like one other guy I forgot, but that was at least decent or borderline decent. But forgot. I gotta look back at it, but yeah, I mean,
he fought Stiverne, I remember.
Yeah, he fought Stiverne a year or two ago, but I'm excited for the fight, man. You know, I agree with the older fella. I mean, Dubois improved. I see it in training. I see it in the fight. He's making better decisions. He's using the jab better. I want to see a little bit more upper body movement, a lot more head movement, because I feel like moving up the ranks.
Yes, totally agree.
Especially a guy like Joyce who throws a lot of punches. You need to move your head. You can't just take a step back in a straight line or keep your hands up. You need to give angles. You need to step off. You need to, roll undershots. You need to move your head in all kinds of different ways because a lot of these guys aren't just going to back up. You know, they're going to hold center in the ring or they're going to come forward instead. And, you know, you see what Daniel's made of then.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, mate. I agree with what you've just said. I see Daniel Dubois made a bit more improvement, but there's no upper body movement for me. He's still very robotic. He's sort of just like a come forward fighter who seems to just use his strength and his size to corner his opponent and then just beat him up. But when he's in there with a fighter who can move, someone like Michael Hunter, someone who's fast punches and can move around. I don't know, mate. He just doesn't impress me. And like I say, people who say he's going to whitewash Joe Joyce dead easy like that. I'm telling you now, if people think that Joe Joyce is going to do what that Ricardo Schneider's just come to do, just to lie down and roll over, they're in for a big awakening. I'm not. Joe might even get beat up. He might get knocked out. But I tell you what, he'll definitely do more than what any of them last 3 or 4 bums he's fought. That was bum bashing at its worst. That. Go on,
Yeah,
Tyrone.
that last guy. And then he said he fought that Gook before. The China guy.
Chinese fellow, yeah.
Yeah, not the best.
No, let's put some respect on Fujimoto's name, and he is from Japan.
Is that where he's from? Japan?
Mm-hmm.
Not China. Okay, I knew.
I thought it was like a Gook, I thought it was from Vietnam or something like that.
Stop it, bro.
I call it a Gook. But
is that what you called him? Damn.
Yeah, Gook.
I didn't hear that.
But what was I about to say before that? Yeah, I don't get what they mean. Like everybody needs to have a tune-up or something. Like fights that were already like this fight was supposed to be made in July, right?
Yeah.
Joyce versus Dubois. So I don't understand what the delay is all about. I feel if you want to take a fight like that, do it behind closed doors, closed video, even like in the gym for free.
I said the same thing. Why are these two fighters bumming around fighting bums? Why did the fight's scheduled for October? Why didn't they just have a long training camp, 3-4? Because most, you know what I mean, and then go straight to the fight.
If you do want to tune up middle of the road guys, not this.
Yeah, back shelf material. Go on, watch it.
I think it's good they at least got some rust off, especially Joe. Because look, I know the opponent for Joe was better, but still, I mean, those guys aren't good anyway. They're the same, really. But yeah, completely irrelevant now. Those tune-ups. The fight's happening next. No more roadblocks. No more tune-ups. No more cancellations. Frank has to make the fight because Frank hasn't. The only real big fight Frank's been a part of this year is Wilder Fury, and that was back in Feb before the Rona even, took a big hit on the US and the whole world. So make this fight, and pay-per-view, whatever. I don't really care. I'm going to watch it anyway, but
yes,
I mean, just make the fight because, it's the end of August, right? You got the whole of September. And then you got October, and I mean, even Eddie Hearn's probably going to get Usyk and Chisora going in late October.
Yeah.
So Frank's got to really step on it now because it just makes it look bad. Because you can't blame Daniel Joe because they just fight. That's what they do. So I just hope when the time comes, they're both ready. There's no injuries, and this is the problem with trying to marinate a fight. You train, you eventually get injured. So you just need to. I would have liked for it to have happened in July because it would have opened up a lot. But for me, it's got to happen in October, most definitely. Forget crowds and gate and everything. Just don't worry about that. You'll kill it on the viewership in the UK.
Exactly. That's great talk, that Watcher. That's great talk. I'm gonna hit on this fight now. Salute, Pat.
Salute, Loss.
Yeah, are you okay, bro?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
Excuse
Just been
me.
watching the boxing. I've enjoyed tonight's boxing. David Adelaide, I've seen him box again. His third fight, he won again on knockout.
Yeah,
Dubois, Dubois actually he's improving because he was actually going to the body today. Because with Joe Joyce, he's not going to headhunt. He's going to go for his body. Because Joe Joyce, his head is too hard, so he's not going to go for the head. So he showed us a little bit of a glimpse of what he's going to do to Joe Joyce. He's going to go
yeah,
for his body. That's the way he's going to break down Joe Joyce, I suppose.
yeah. Watcher's just dropped off, said he'll be back in a minute. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I agree with what Watcher said before. Now this fight needs to happen because it's definitely a fight what I'm waiting to see. And but I don't want to see this bum bashing, cherry picking these soft touch opponents. I need to see Daniel Dubois in the mix, man. And I think salute to you, Dre's finest. Salute to you. I don't know, man. I think I'm just angry because I've waited and I rushed home to watch it, and then I was just like, what the hell is this?
Let down. Yeah.
Yeah,
The thing is though, like obviously we've been going through pandemics, so that's why the fight didn't happen because they were scheduled back in July. So the reason why they didn't do it is because of the crowd situation, and I still think Frank is waiting for the government to say, look, you can have the crowd in now, because I think the Premier League, the football, for those in the US soccer, the soccer, they're saying basically you're allowed to have a crowd in October. So I think that's what Frank is trying to do. Set the fight up in October. The both guys are ready. Dubois is ready. Joe Joyce is ready. Yeah, we're just waiting for the crowd to come in. I don't think he's going to do without the crowd. This is too big of a risk.
Yeah, I know that. I've seen an interview this week. He's actually done an interview this week on IFL TV where he's said the same thing. He's waiting till October. But the thing is, like Watcher just said, it doesn't even matter because you'll make a killing on pay-per-view and on views anyway. Because the whole country are going to watch this. And I reckon a lot of people around the boxing world are going to watch it. But I think basically what I'm angry at, like I say, I'm not so much angry at Daniel Dubois. I'm angry that Frank Warren has just pulled out an absolute trash fighter who just didn't have no interest and he didn't even have a go back. He just I don't know.
Not only that, it was a trash fighter, but it was a fighter that you couldn't even really utilize him as like a prototype or type of tune-up, you know what I mean, for the future, for like, because we know Joe Joyce is going to be the next opponent. Why not get a fighter, you know what I mean, of that same height, you know what I mean, possibly of that same style, you know what I mean? There's guys like Niall Kennedy that fights out of Ireland, 13-1-1, could have got him. You know what I mean? He's about 6'7". You know what I mean? To prepare him for the next fight. This guy was 6'3", and he's a career cruiserweight.
Yeah, facts. That is
terrible.
Brilliant. That is brilliant, Oddfellow. At least get someone who's going to mimic an heavyweight fighter, or regular, or someone close to Joyce.
When did they change? When did they change the opponent? Because it was supposed to be the German guy.
Yeah, about
correct. It was supposed to be Eric Pfeiffer.
When was that? When did they change it?
That was a couple weeks back. They was claiming that Eric Pfeiffer's team didn't submit the paperwork in time. Eric Pfeiffer himself is a 6'3" heavyweight. He's not the biggest heavyweight at all, but he is a heavyweight. And I mean, and he is established. He has had definitely a lot of fights in the amateurs. As far as his professional record goes, he's fought absolutely nobody. I mean,
he's undefeated.
He's undefeated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But a bunch of cans I'm seeing on his record. You know what I mean? Straight. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, they could have used this opportunity to better prepare Danny Dubois for Joe Joyce. They might be like taking Joe Joyce, Frankenstein, aka Frankenstein, a little bit too lightly. You know what I mean? Yeah, they should have utilized this opportunity to find a better opponent. Most of these guys are gonna be like 6'5" and up, anyways. So you utilize this pandemic time, this bubble time, to fight lesser fighters, to work on your craft. You know what I mean? And there's guys out there that's ready for that work that you could have got. But this Ricardo Snyder's, the Eric Pfeiffers of the world, like, nah, there's no need for them right now.
Facts.
Or you could have got somebody like Robert Helenius, somebody like that, you know, because he's a tall guy, similar structure to Joe Joyce. Obviously,
You know, to debate you on that would never happen, because Helenius got a little bit of clout, especially over this side of the pond. Now that he done knocked out Adam Konauki, and he got some type of minor belt, a WBA gold belt. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? That's going to be hard to make. You got to look at it, you know what I mean, within Europe, because I think even the travel restrictions between US and the UK are still kind of limited. So as far as like this guy Ricardo Snijders, he's from Netherlands. You could get it. Yeah, I mean, anybody from Europe is pretty much easy travel. You know what I mean? So I think Helenius would be off the table with that one.
The thing is, though, odd fella, why is he not fighting someone like Ajit Kabayel? Someone like that.
Good question. You know what I mean? But I believe that's a fight that will be later on in the future. You know what I mean? Because it does make sense. Being that they're both technically on ESPN. You know what I mean? Over this side, Top Rank, Frank Warren, both have that deal. So it's a fight that could be made in the future.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know, man. I'm just very disappointed with what's his back? I'm just disappointed with the competition, what he's put out there tonight, and what his last opponent was as well, which was even a year before the pandemic. He could have, Daniel Dubois should have been fighting guys like that. What was his name? That Fujimoto, and that Schneider. He should have been fighting them like 2 or 3 fights into his career. Not, what's he on now? Like 15 fights, something like that.
15, 16.
Yeah, 15 fights.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He shouldn't be fighting.
Bro, we still got to remember, Danny Dubois is 22, and he doesn't have the most extensive amateur career. Can we say that he don't have the most extensive amateur career? So, the doc can't be too hard on him.
No, I'm not
taking fights like this.
But what you've got to understand, though, odd fella, is if we're saying that about Daniel, God, man, Tyrone's dropping in and out like.
No, that wasn't me this time.
All right, who's that?
I think that was Watcher.
Yeah, but okay then. If we're going to say that about Daniel Dubois, he's not had much of an amateur.
He's had 5 fights. He's had 5 fights in the amateurs.
Yeah, well, hear me out. This is what I'm going to say. If we're going to say that about Daniel Dubois, he's not had many. Okay, he's had 5 amateur fights. He's had 5
and he lost 3
fights.
And he lost 3 of them.
And he's only 22 and all that. But why are we going in on Dillian Whyte then? He only had a short amateur career. And
but Dillian Whyte, he fought more.
Dillian Whyte's mouth's too big, dog. That's why.
But listen, it's the same principle. Yeah, I agree with what you've just said, but it's the same principle. Dillian Whyte, even worse for Dillian Whyte because he started later in his career. He was older, started later, had less less of an amateur background, just as much as Daniel Dubois, but Dillian White has fought far better opposition, and he was fighting better opposition earlier on in his career.
Stop it. No, he wasn't, bro.
All right.
No, he wasn't. I was looking at Dillian White's record the other day, and he fought Kamil Sokolowski when he was 10-0. Dillian White was 10-0. Kamil Sokolowski was 0-1.
Right. Okay.
0-1. How are you 10-0 fighting an 0-1 fighter?
I mean, I just feel like this. I mean, I wouldn't argue too much about that. I mean, let them, the Dillian White comparison with the Daniel comparison, because Dillian White can't take 2 steps forward and take 5 steps backwards and fight people that Daniel has been fighting. You see what I'm saying? He's already a known name. He already headlines his own cards and stuff like that. So he doesn't have that luxury.
I'll come back to this.
He doesn't have that luxury to fight those guys, and he did it to himself. So I told folks this: can everybody be an Anthony Joshua and get a championship belt in 19 fights? You see what I'm saying? Can everybody get a championship belt at when you ain't old enough to fucking buy a drink of alcohol, Mike Tyson? So what I try to tell people is that it's just the circumstance that they're in. And if Dillian White chose to take his career in that path, most likely because of the
Mike, we're going off subject now, bro. You're going on about people's career going off. I'm on about the subject.
I'm still on the subject. You was talking about Dillian White.
Yeah, because I'm
White's career.
No, he rounded in the form.
So, and I'm giving you prime examples on why it's not really. It shouldn't even be it's a talking point, but it's not that big of a deal because Dillian White didn't put himself. He set himself up for he betted on himself, just like Wilder betted on himself to get to the point to where he's at. Yeah, he failed a few times, but he did it. You really can't make an argument.
Yeah.
The thing is,
what I'm saying is, right, just one sec back. What I'm saying, oh shit, right, just give me 1 sec, Black Star, I'll send you a link. What I'm saying, right, is I can't be dealing with people saying that you can give Daniel Dubois one favour, but you can't do it for the other. Both of them had no amateur background. Both of them fought cherry-picking tin cans, right? But what I'm saying is people who keep using that same excuse. He's only 22. He had no amateur background. He's only had 15 fights. Listen, the same thing is the same for Dillian White. He had no amateur background. He didn't even box for England in any Olympics or anything, or represent England, which Daniel Dubois did. Right. So what I'm trying to say to you, Mike, is we can't make the same excuses. Oh, he had no amateur background. Oh, he's only 22. Right, he's 22. He's 15 fights in. This guy hang on. This guy is 15 fights in, and Frank Warren's putting out opponents like him for him to steamroll over and blow out.
What's your point? He's 15 fights in. Canelo was like, 30 fights in before he fought somebody of credentials.
I'm not going off Canelo. I'm going off 2 heavyweight fighters what have come from the UK.
Different fighters have different trajectories.
That's got nothing to do with it. Because at the end of the day, both of their bases are the same. They both have got no amateur career, and they both have come through. But one's had less fights and one's had more fights. But we're all right to give one guy shit saying he's trash and he's not that good. But the other one, we're blowing him up to be this. He's the next best thing since sliced bread.
Bro, you're acting like Dillian White has the same type of upside as Danny Dubois.
No, I'm being fucking realistic.
Yeah, he doesn't. Let's be real.
What I'm saying is, no, because it's the same. I'm being realistic. If you look into the background of both of them, the 2 British heavyweights, what have had no background career, but they've come through the rankings. But yet we're saying one's trash and he's shit, but the other one we have to go light on him because he's only 22. He's only had the guy's fucking 17 stone.
Well,
he's fighting. I'm going to finish what I'm saying because I'm sick of people butting in. Because end of the day, I'm sick of people sugarcoating Daniel Dubois to be, oh, you've got to nurture him. He's this baby and he's all that. But yet he's spouting his mouth off saying he's going to knock Dillian White out. He's going to knock Tyson Fury out. He's going to do this and do that. Put the fucking guy in with some stiff competition and let's see what he's about. Because I'm telling you now, and I'm going to tell you that this guy is not going to steamroll Joe Joyce like everyone seems to think he is. He might beat him. He very well might knock him out. But I'm telling you now, you're in for a fucking shock.
See, well, Laws.
I'm going to shut up.
No, stay right there, Laws, because you need to hear this.
I'm just going to send Easy the link.
Months fucking go. I said the same thing to y'all. I said the same fucking thing. I told you guys that this motherfucker is not no fucking novice or anything like that. I told you guys already. I said something similar to on the last live stream. People looking at me like I'm crazy and shit. I said this already. But at the end of the day, I understand why Daniel took this type of fight right now. Because if I was Frank Warren, yeah, he wants to build up the fucking fight with Daniel and Joyce. He wants to get him in the ring to make sure that he's not staying stagnant. But at the same time, he don't want the motherfucker to get Tom Short. He don't want no fucking risks. No fucking risks. None. So if Top Rank, like what y'all like to call him, fish eyes, if he wants to sit up over there and help Daniel Dubois mature into a well-seasoned heavyweight fighter by fighting certain competitions for a minute, I understand that because that's how you put your best foot forward. But I understand at the same time as you saying when he was out there spatting at the mouth, this is not the first time we heard him say that shit. He said that after he whooped on that one boy. I think he said he wanted Wilder's ass, AJ's, or somebody like that ass, right?
Yeah.
And we all know that shit was gonna happen no time soon. We all know that in order for him to even get a fight, he's probably gonna have to go the route to be somebody's damn mandatory by fighting probably some bitch ass motherfucker. I'm sorry, some dude named the Ajit Cabiel or your Brian Jennings or
exactly mine.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't blame them from what they did tonight. Yeah, that shit was atrocious. A lot of the fights tonight were atrocious. But I don't blame him for not taking the risk.
No. Yeah.
But disclaimer, Danny Dubois does have the WBC silver title, so he's an eliminator away from a title shot.
Which was
that doesn't mean shit.
Having
the WBC silver actually really only just means that in order for it's just a belt. In order for you to be a mandatory,
Andy was vacant, Mike.
In order for you to be a mandatory for any type of fight, the WBC is gonna have to sit there and make a vote. See what I'm saying? They have to vote that shit. They just the silver and the diamond doesn't do anything. It just makes you a champion and puts you on the confines of certain rules. But it doesn't make you in line for an eliminator for the mandatory position.
Pardon me? Say that again. It doesn't make you
having the silver or the diamond belt in WBC doesn't put you in a position to be in the final eliminator for a mandatory slot.
You're fading out, Mike.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, bro.
Yeah, I was saying that the diamond and the silver, if you read the WBC rules, it has nothing to do with being the mandatory, being in a position to be fighting for an eliminator to be in the mandatory. WBC has to vote.
That's right. Yeah.
To make somebody a mandatory, and that's the shitty part about the WBCs because those belts that they have, it makes them a champion within the WBC, and that means they have to abide by certain rules, but they don't have to abide by. I don't believe they have to abide by the top 10 fighting within the top 10. So It is what it is.
As far as I'm aware, Mike, the Watcher might be able to tell you more. As far as I'm aware, is it the WBC? Oh God, what's that about? What Dillian White did have? What he lost to
Interim.
Interim. That's it. The interim.
He went from the silver to the interim.
Yeah.
To the diamond.
Well, yeah. But I'm on about the interim.
Now, he didn't get the diamond. He got knocked out before he could get the diamond.
But he was fighting for the diamond. The interim belt holds more power than the WBC silver belt. That belt, what Daniel Dubois has got, just quickly, I'm going to.
But that's the fact I'm trying to get to. You know what I mean? But Dillian White didn't just get the interim. He started from the silver.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say,
the silver got put him into the position to get him to the interim, essentially to the title shot.
He won. He had a fight and won for that belt. That belt was vacant when Daniel Dubois got it. There's too much bullshit in these fucking belts. Anyway, yeah, go on, watch it. My bad.
It's all about money, man. This is a business, and Mauricio he loves money. Comes from a very rich family, and because he's in a position of power in the WBC, he'll fucking sanction any event with a belt because you got to pay thousands of dollars for it. But as for the interim belts and the silver belts, interim does hold more power, but really it is a fuckhole belt at the end of the day, because when Dillian White was wanting to get his shot at Wilder in 2018, this is just an example, there is a reason why the WBC asked him to fight a final eliminator, so he, could be next for the shot, right? Brazil was already mandatory, and so, he didn't have a fucking silver belt. He just fought an eliminator. So that matters more than really having a belt, because the belt's just a little trinket, and it's just an excuse. And a lot of fans even say it, because I've known fans who have YouTube channels. They've covered the boxing for a very long time, but they're like, oh, why did White need to fight eliminators? And, how come, it doesn't the silver belt make you, ready for a title shot? No. Like, they didn't even have that shit back in the 80s or 90s. So I think people just got to understand that the belt, that silver belt, is just fuck all, really. Right? Even the interim, it's worth more. It's got more power to it, sorry. But, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter, really. I'm done.
Yeah, then what you have to understand is that when you read the WBC rules, so the diamond belt is supposed to be two elite fighters fighting against each other. That's the caveat with the diamond belt. Diamond belt is supposed to go to two elite fighters fighting each other, right? So I don't know how y'all want to think about that one.
Elite, I mean, you could hear Mauricio saying, I am very proud to announce Alexander Povetkin and Dillian White for the diamond belt. The leather is crisp, all that bullshit. And he's, like I said, all this is pointless. Fucking diamond, interim, silver. God, WBA have the same thing. It's ridiculous. And as for two elite fighters, I'm sorry, man. Dillian just at that time has not been elite. And Povetkin, even though I picked him to win, those aren't really top 5, top 3 guys, So elite, nah, bro. I didn't say, you said they were elite.
I mean, I think Dillian White is a great fighter, but I don't think he's the Deadly Triangle in the heavyweight division. I don't think he's on that. Like, Anthony
I agree.
Deontay Wilder, Fury. And if we made a list, he probably won't even be in the top 5. You know what I'm saying? But what do you guys think about that? I don't know if I can't remember if we talked about the last one, but we talked about it a little bit, but we didn't hear. I know they put out the weights for this shit, but what y'all think about that super cruiserweight?
Huh? Oh, the weight division idea?
Yeah.
No,
you mean super heavyweight?
Or
you mean what I heard something about it was some some commissioner or some type of he represented something. I think he said the gladiator weight or some type of weight where it was kind of in between. It was like 200 to 225 or something like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but that was the WBC trying to make that. And I believe it. I think it was the super cruiserweight because they trying to make it between cruiserweight and heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking
right, but from what I heard is that they didn't want to call it super cruiserweight because they didn't want to. They would make it seem like that would just diminish the cruiserweights. You know what I mean? So they just wanted to come up with a whole new name for it. You know what I mean?
I mean, rather than but then they just to me adding that. I seriously think that maybe they should expand cruiserweight to 200 to something. You know what I'm saying? Below 200 to something. But as far as like add another weight division and them saying like they don't want to take away from cruiserweight by calling it super cruiserweight, is like you already watering boxing down. You know what I'm saying? You already watering boxing down. It's like half of these motherfuckers that's 270 pounds can't even move in the ring anyway.
But how can we say that when we look at the lesser weights and there's like pretty much like sometimes 4 pounds between them?
Yeah, I think they should get rid of some of that shit
and
too.
then we expect Deontay Wilder to fight guys that are like 280 pounds.
That's crazy.
He signed up for it.
Yeah, but listen. We don't need that stuff, man, because that's gonna ruin the heavyweight division, man. Boxing is already ruined. You know what I mean? With all these weights, 4 pound difference, like Artfella is saying. You know what I mean? So we don't need that stuff, man. Just don't even like. I hope they don't even bring that up because boxing is going downhill, man. Like, especially if they bring that stuff up, nah, man. I'm not up for that, man.
Just leave it as it is, you know.
If anything, I think the light heavyweights should amalgamate with the cruiserweights.
Well, go from super middle to cruiser. Hello?
More like 170 to 210 or something like that.
Oh God. I mean, that doesn't work. I mean,
that's more like we expect guys to look at Ricardo Snyder's tonight was coming in at 215 to fight a big bruiser like and Danny Dubois at 245.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a 30 pound difference.
Maybe
in any other weight class in the lesser weights, that's ridiculous. But when we're looking at the heavyweights, yeah, it's all good. Like
I don't think it's ridiculous. The 30-pound difference. That boy had that boy didn't have the skills to be in that damn ring with that boy. I mean, he didn't throw enough punches. He didn't do too much. I mean, only thing he tried to do was not get hit and try to get out of the first round for a bonus point. You know what I'm saying? So, but when skills are a factor in boxing, you know, you start to see that 270 and stuff like that, and that 250 and that 240, it starts to get voided out. Yeah. Deontay Wilder's been coming in. He came in the ring 209, 215, 225, and he still did his thing. I mean, granted, he got some skill in the right hand and a couple of other tools in his box, but you know, that's what's if you can't stand that 30-pound, 40-pound difference, take your ass to cruiserweight. That's what I say, or don't box it off, because as soon as they start messing with this shit, they're gonna start, because WBC they some idiots. They trying to find like different ways to get in, to get the audience to come in and watch the fights, but they ain't getting no feedback from the audience. Then when it takes somebody like that, what's his name, Tony Bellew, and make him the spokesperson for the shit, he couldn't even get his career right. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even get his career. I mean, granted, he got some accomplishments and stuff like that, but I just think that at the end of the day, they need to get rid of. What they should do is get rid of that franchise shit first, then get rid of some of these trinket ass belts. Or if you have a diamond and you have a silver, give those belts meanings like, which means like these are the niggas that's next in line. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I said it, but get rid of some of these weight classes too. It should never be no 4-pound fucking difference between a fight, and it shouldn't be no. If you come in at you come in at 155, 165 when you come in at 147.
Yeah, well, what about that weight difference tonight? Fucking 17 stone 6 to 15 stone 6.
Say it again, Lars.
I'm saying, well, what about that tonight? 17 stone 6. Okay, Stormy, salute, no worries, bro. What about that difference tonight of 17 stone 6 pound to 15 stone 5 pound?
That's what I've been saying, bro. Like the man was a career cruiserweight.
Yeah,
and that's an indictment on Frank Warren bringing this guy in, because once again he brought him in to get slaughtered, but it wasn't in preparation for Joe Joyce. This man's not no type of heavyweight. Doesn't even have the height or the size to mimic the Joe Joyce style. So why bring him in?
Yeah, I agree with you there. But what my argument was before is I'm not going to sit here and criticize one fighter because of him trash talking and all this shit. But he had a no amateur background. Yet the other guy had no amateur background, but we're protecting him. Fuck that shit, man. He's 15 fights and he's 22 years old. He's 6'4". He's 17 and a half stone. This guy is a grown ass man, and I want to see him fight some decent fighters now. I don't want to see that shit. Him being baby and nurtured and all this. We've got to take it slow. Fuck that, man. He's 15 fights in now. He's 15 fights in, not 5, 15. Now he needs to step it up.
I mean, I'm just like this. I don't see the big deal of this fight that just happened with Joe Joyce. I knew exactly what it was going to be, Laws, and you should have known what it was going to be too. It had nothing to do with babying the dude. Only thing it had to do with.
No, I'm saying people babying him now, Mike. I heard someone say before on the panel, "Oh yeah, but he's only amateur." I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
he boxed for the UK.
That's not them making excuses or anything for him. That's them showing you that at the end of the day, it's up to Daniel and his team to make him into this person. And to put your best foot forward in boxing is to make sure that he is up to speed before you start doing things like that. Because there's other aspects of the game too, as far as rushing somebody. It's not up to us to a certain extent. To this extent, it makes sense to some people why he's not fighting the competition. But he was supposed to fight Joe Joyce a long time ago. But anyway,
I know that. But what I'm saying now, Mike, is I don't want to hear people saying that we've got to protect him and all stuff like that because he's only had a certain amount of amateur fights and all shit. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't want to hear that no more.
That's what I'm saying, Lars. Nobody said it.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
nobody.
Someone said it on the panel before.
No, nobody.
No, I said it earlier.
Oh, you said it. Oh, I must have not been here.
Yeah, I said it. Yeah, but listen.
I don't want to hear that.
At the end of the day, look at Tyson Fury. He had 8 amateur career as well. They've been protecting AJ. No, not AJ. I mean Tyson Fury. You know what I mean? So that's what they do. They're trying to build them up. And when it comes to like the big fights, that's the only time they're gonna take a risk. That's how boxing is.
But what I'm saying,
but it didn't used to be like that. I don't think we should settle for something like that. We should be able to express our frustration about that and not just say, "Well, oh, that's how it is." Especially when at a different time it wasn't like that, and people did take chances. And if people went down early, they said, "Oh, he was rushing." They move on to the next one. It isn't a forgiving sport, but I mean, we are the fans.
I'll put it to you like this. This type of shit has always been happening in the sport. You know what I'm saying? This stuff has always been happening in the sport. with this fight, like I keep trying to tell you guys, is that I saw it coming. I don't know how you guys couldn't see it coming. They wasn't going to take no risk on putting them in there with anybody. You see what I'm saying? I understand that this fight had to go down like that, really extremely one-sided. This was not going to be no competitive fucking bout. I'm not worried about what Daniel and shit got to say up out of his mouth, because he's not the one in the driver's seat. You know what I'm saying? He just like a lot of fighters out there. They're not in the fucking driver's seat. The fighter could say whatever the fuck they want, and then the promoter's going to do whatever the hell they want. Yeah, us as fans, we can sit up over here and give our frustrations and stuff like that. But as far as Dillian White, as shit, he could take the long dick, the side dick, any kind of dick that he want to take from Dean White, because at the end of the day, he went into overdrive mode when it comes to other fighters and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? We're talking shit. He didn't do like Daniel did. Daniel just in the ring and he just said, "Yeah, I want to beat him. I think I'm gonna beat him." That's how he feels. He feels like he could whoop Tyson Fury. He feels like he could whoop whoever the fuck that's on the face of this earth. He's a fighter, and that's AO.
Yeah, but Dillian White's not getting protected. That's the thing. Dillian White's not getting protected. Daniel Dubois, he's getting protected because Frank Warren doesn't want to take that risk. But Dillian White, Eddie Hearn listens to the fighters. If Dylan White says, "I want to fight Povetkin," Eddie Hearn puts him with the fight. That's what happened. That's true, though, isn't it?
Are we trying to these fighters on different trajectories? They're at different points in their career, and then you guys have the nerve to say Danny Dubois is being protected when he's already fought Kevin Johnson, when he's already been put in there with a domestic fighter like Nathan Gorman and passed that test, and he's being protected, and he's going in there with Joe Joyce next. The only reason why we haven't seen that fight is because of the pandemic, and he's being protected. Y'all niggas is crazy.
Nathan Gorman was the only no. Sorry. Nathan Gorman was the only risk they took. Nathan Gorman was the only risk they took.
No, let's get some order here. Let Pep finish, and then let Blackstar speak.
Okay, can I just speak, please? Can I speak? Because I don't want. Can we speak like Can we have Can we all speak? You know what I mean? Because I'm getting interrupted. But listen, all I'm saying is I'm not really saying that Daniel Dubois is getting protected, but he is getting protected now and then take the big risk. That's what I'm saying. Like Nathan Gorman was the only risk they took. Johnson guy, Kevin Johnson, I don't buy that stuff. That guy is a journeyman. That guy is just to earn money. The Kingpin, yeah. He's there just to earn money.
It's like, I'm kidding.
Come on, man. He's just there to earn money. You know what I mean? Everyone beats him. Everyone beats him, man. Come on, man. Let's be real, man.
Well, we all saw Richard Larley rock Daniel Dubois' jaw twice.
Yeah, but come on, they knew that he was gonna beat him, innit? Let's be real on it.
No, if you go back and watch that fight, it wasn't like when they got in the ring, it wasn't like no news.
I watched it 1,000 times in it. Blackstar, anyway, he hasn't said anything.
Put up a fight like that.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying he's getting protected fully, but I'm saying like most of the time it's not up to Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois, he wants to fight everyone. But Frank Warren is the guy that's stopping him from fighting, because what he's trying to do, he's trying to take his time, because that's his only asset right now. Because Tyson Fury is not really his anymore. It's Bob Arum. So this is the only guy he got. So he's only gonna put him in certain fights, in certain risk, when it's paying off. That's why he's not making that fight until the crowds come in. And Nathan Gorman, yeah, I agree with the Archfella, yeah, that was a risk fight, but that was the only risk fight in his career. But having said that, the kid only had this is his 15th fight. But after the pay-per-view, I don't want to see him with this type of fights as well. I'm with Loss at the same time. You know what I mean? I'm kind of fed up watching these fights, knowing I know exactly what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? It's the same stuff all over again. You know what I mean?
Right. Let's bring in Blackstar, because he's been here and he hasn't said anything. What's up, Black?
Hey, what's going on there, Lowe's, man? Appreciate you having me on here, man. Salute to everybody on the panel. Yeah, Daniel Dubois, man, I like this guy, man. I think he's got a lot of potential and everything, but I will say this. I wouldn't call it being protected, but I think it's more like guided. And I think he needs to step up and fight some more tougher competition, like somebody like a Michael Hunter, man. Something that, can validate some of this tough talk. Man, I don't fault the guy for talking tough and believing in himself and everything. And that's good. That's all good and dandy. but you got to put a little back into it and back it up a little bit more. Because if you go and you fight some guy on the next tier and you start knocking some of them guys, you know, I mean, he's 20 something years old, but nowadays people act like 20 something year old guys is like 15 and 16 years old when it's not. They're full ass grown men. You know, I mean, back in the day, I mean, hell, Sugar Ray Leonard was what, 20, 23 or something like that when he was first going out there trying to win a title. Now, you know, these guys now want to wait till they're 30 to finally go up there and step up to the top level when everybody, the older guys get old, and then they can say, well, I was old when you beat me. You know, skip all that, man. The guy has the talent. You know, he's not the only fighter like that. There's other ones in other weight classes I feel the same about, but you know, I like to see him go ahead and take that step. What's it going to hurt, man? The heavyweight division needs more life in it because these same old guys, same old names. You know, it's time for some other guys on the scene there to make it even more interesting. And I think he possibly could be one of those guys. I definitely got my eye on him. I think he got the potential to do that. And he's showing everything. You know, so far he's doing what he does against whatever they put in front of him. But I feel like it's time to just put him out there with some guys that can challenge them more, cause more of a problem. Let's see him go through some adversity. You know, he hasn't been you know, steamrolling everybody. Get him in there with a guy that's going to make him think, oh, hell, what the hell is this guy? Oh, shit. You know, let his corner have to tell him, hey, man, go up there, you know, pop that jab out there, slip this, you know, watch out for this. So, you know, I mean, something. Because it's just been like, I mean, that today was a microwave fight. He went in there and looked at the guy, and the guy said, okay, I gotta go home.
I mean, but that's what we're trying to tell folks, man, is like this fight was supposed to happen a year ago, and this fight was already supposed to happen this year, but COVID. And that's what I know the stuff is like, you know, frustrating and stuff like that, but you know, at some point, man, folks just gotta have patience, man. He's gonna get past the Joe Joyce dude, and after that, that's when all this type of talk should be coming into play about like his level of competition and this, that, and the third. And you know, because after you fight this guy, you're Joe Joyce, you know what I'm saying? There shouldn't be any other type of fights like the one he just had today, or the Fujimoto or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I see why those fights happen. But I'm just being a little bit patient, man. I'm not. It's like what you gonna do?
Yeah.
But Mike,
I like
a few months
try to fight Michael Hunter. I think that'd be
me too. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like Michael Hunter win.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, I would like to see it today, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that wasn't going to happen because he's supposed to be fighting Joe Joyce, right? In October, allegedly, and that fight was already supposed to happen. So why would him? I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just trying to say realistically, why would I think that these fights are supposed to happen the way I want them to happen when I can see the shit right in front of me?
Right. Well,
I feel you there, but I just feel like it's you know, it's just time for it to step up, man. And the thing is with Joe Joyce is not going to pose as big of much problems to him as Michael Hunter will, because Joe Joyce is basically a puncher. You know, he's going to take all these slow, but if he hits you, he can hurt you. But if you get in there with Michael Hunter, man, you're going to have to show more. You have to adjust more. He's going to be forced to make some type of adjustment, and that makes for a more exciting fight. And I get what you're saying there, but I'm just saying just as a sport of boxing, that's what I want to see right now. And I know
we'll see. We'll see, because Michael Hunter, he might be able to do that with Povetkin and a few other fighters, but we also see that fighters sometimes they can't do what they want to do and what they train to do, fighting certain type of fighters because due to style. You know what I'm saying? And the guy's, you know, a lot taller than him, a lot bigger than him. I mean, so there's gonna be some adjustments that's gonna have to be made for that fight. I don't think that fight is gonna be easy for either one of them.
Exactly. That's why we need to see it.
Yeah, listen, I don't think it'll be easy. Go ahead, Laws.
No, go on, Tyler. I'm sorry, bro. Go on. You say your piece, mate. You haven't said anything.
Yeah, I don't think. If Michael Hunter got in there with Dubois, it'd probably be a toss-up fight. But I followed Michael Hunter right before he fought Usyk, and then I watched all his heavyweight fights, so I was scared for him going in there with Bakole, and for him to do what he did there and nobody talked about it was pretty sad. He beat Bakole, then Kuzman, then Povetkin, when a lot of people didn't even really see what Hunter was doing, and I told him he should take care of Povetkin, but Hunter can fight. And it's just sad that he hasn't gotten the opportunities that he should be getting.
Yeah, totally
Thanks.
agree with you.
It ain't sad.
Facts.
It ain't sad. The motherfucker did the right thing. He did the right thing. He's doing this shit on his own. He should be doing this shit on his own and doing what all these other fighters didn't do. Trying to get up over here and fight the motherfuckers that's up over here holding these damn belts. And guess what? Now that he's a free agent type of sort of, and he's building a buzz for himself and stuff, people are not going to have a choice but to give him the fight. You know what I'm saying? Then if you got a heavyweight fighter and you're trying to make some money or you're trying to make a star out of them, well, guess what? Really, to tell you the truth, out of American heavyweight fighters, who the motherfuckers talking about? Who the motherfuckers with the best win? Like as far as the dudes that's coming up, so they ain't gonna have no choice unless people want to continue having arguments about arguments like Daniel Dubois, who's he gonna fucking fight next, and how sorry of a fight it was tonight.
Yeah, well, just going back to earlier what we were saying, and I'm going to point on something what Stormy B-Man's just put. Stormy's like me. He doesn't. I mean, I can only speak for what I think, what Stormy thinks, but Stormy might be thinking along the same guidelines as me. He isn't all clued up on. He isn't all clued up. That come out wrong. He isn't all up on this Daniel Dubois boat like I'm not. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I say, that Richard Lartley fight, I'll always stick in my mind because I think Richard Lartley was piecing him up. And that fucking ref stopped that fight miles too early.
Oh well, hold on.
Listen. Now
let me say this really quick. Go back. You've been
going. Give me a chance, bro. Give me a chance. You've been going strong. You know what I mean? Now to address Stormy B, you know what I mean? If Joe Joyce whooped that boy, what y'all gonna say next? You know what I mean? Well, this is the time you need to be taking it to be facing adversity like that. You know what I mean? Once again, I'll say again, he's 22 years old. Now he's fighting his first, you know what I mean, real step up fight. You know what I mean? There's a lot at stake. If he takes a loss, he can always come back from that. You know what I mean? We like to discredit a lot of these heavyweights and say, well, they're not going into championship contention until their 30s. Well, that's the real. You know what I mean? Lennox Lewis didn't get. I think he didn't really come into his primes into his mid-30s. You know what I mean? You look at both the Klitschko's. They weren't, you know what I mean, really dominant until their 30s. So we need to take our time and be patient with Danny Dubois. I think the steps are made nicely. Of course, this fight that we saw today was embarrassing, and it should have been a better opponent that was put in place. But yeah, man, if he takes a loss, he can always come back. You know what I mean? He's a young character. This isn't the same situation where I would look at like a Dillian White, who's more advanced in age. You know what I mean? If Joe Joyce was to even take a loss right now, you know what I mean, it's more detrimental to his career than it would be Danny Dubois because he's more advanced in age. Joe Joyce is 33 years old. Michael Johnson, go ahead.
Yeah. No, yeah, because I was going to be in and out.
What you just said.
And the only thing I wanted to say the loss was, if you go back and look at the Richard Lartley fight, just look at the count, and then look at the ref's face when he raising his hands up, just laughing at Richard Lartley. So that's the only thing I wanted to say. See how quick that was?
Yeah, okay. But what you've just said there, though, odd fella, about I forgot now what you did. You said something about Dillian White's age. I can't even back up.
I'm saying he's more advanced in age. You know what I mean? He's more advanced in age than definitely Danny Dubois. So these losses at this point in his career and his age are more detrimental to his career than they would be for Danny. You see what I'm saying?
Is that he ain't got that much time.
Yeah, but see, Danny should be a little bit more hungry too, and I'd be, just like look at Ali when he was young, man. He didn't wait around for them to give him the opportunity. He went and took it. He went up there, Sonny Liston in there playing craps. He wasn't even a gambling man, but he knew where to go get the extra stuff. He went in there and said, look here, I can lick you, and that's just what it is. And he had the camera crew there, and he made his opportunity. You don't sit back and wait. Don't let the promoters dictate to you what it is that you can do. I mean, if you in there putting all that hard work in and you doing everything that it takes to be a fighter, I mean, they put themselves through some rigorous training. I mean, it's a special type of person to be able to do that. So if I'm doing all that and I'm self-confident, I'm feeling like, man, I can do this. I can beat these guys, and I got that confidence. I'm not gonna let nobody shortchange. I'm gonna get it. If I look up there and I see Tyson Fury walking down the street, and I mean, hell, I ain't even 6 foot, but if I feel like I can take him, and he not seeming like he wants to give it to me, well, I'm gonna force him to have to give me the opportunity that I'm looking for, and he gonna have to prove it to me that he can take me. And if that happens, then so be it. But I'm not out here to play no games. I'm out here to be the best, and that's what's missing from boxing. People need to want to be the best.
That's why we have advisors. You know what I mean? Because fighters can't really thinking like that.
What you want for yourself? That's what I mean. See, everybody.
That's from a fan's mindset.
No, but if I was a fighter, me personally, if I believed in myself and I was as good as what I thought I was, I wouldn't. This is just me personally. I'm saying if I was a boxer and I believed in myself, I was as good as what I thought I am, and I'm knocking all these people out, I would just fucking skip by all this. There might be three or four. Yeah, there might be facts, Black. That's what I'm trying to say. There comes to a part in your life where you've got to think, hang on a minute, there's 3 or 4 fighters who the fans want me to fight, but it might take me 2 years to get to a world title shot. If I'm as good as what I think I am and believe in myself, I'm going to bypass them and go straight to the fucking product. If I get knocked down or get beat up, then I'll come back. I've learned something. But you've got to take a risk. You've got to take a risk. And
so we want to do it the Anthony. We can do it the Anthony Yard way, but we need to still remember that we need to put value on building up your career. You know what I mean? Building up those fights. Instant gratification isn't the best thing all the time. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it is.
Who cares? Who cares if Lomachenko got a title fight and this new nigga David Morrell got a belt in 2 fights? Who cares? I want to see some. I respect longevity. I respect the fighters that got like 50+ fights in the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. And their second half of the career is full of bangers and hitters.
Yeah, I do. But there's certain boxers in the world what shouldn't be like that, because there's certain boxers who don't need nurturing, who don't need nurturing. There's certain boxers who have got raw talent. And me personally, as a boxing fan, I can spot something in a boxer and think that kid's gonna be something. There's certain boxers who need to be let off the lead and just do what they need to do. And there is certain boxers what do need to be nurtured and slowly built up. But Daniel Dubois, everyone keeps saying he's this, that, he's the other, he's next best thing since sliced bread. He's knocking everyone out. The TV over here blowing him up. You don't see in the media what I see over here. I see all the time, Daniel Dubois this, Daniel Dubois this. Well, let him off the lead then, Frank. Let him off the fucking lead, and let's see what he can do.
I don't see it all, but I see like probably like maybe 45, maybe 35, 45, pushing 50. You know, they even say that on Twitter, and even watching the commentary, even with I don't care. I don't care who it is. You know, they won't say that this guy got wobbled, but they say the other guy landed a solid right hand. He's showing this and the third. I'm like, what the hell going on here? Or I go on Twitter right after this fight, and people are just shaking their head, and like they're not saying that it was a shitty show. They're just saying it's like, well, that's it, folks. That's it for tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're not saying what it should be. The only person that I heard, but he's from New Zealand Boxing Square, New Zealand. He said this should be it. This should be it for Daniel. They're like this type of performance. But this is what we see all the time. We see, hell, you know what? We saw saw Canelo fight Rocky Fielding. Where that nigga come from?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A guy who won prize fighting.
It don't matter though, but we keep getting it. But yeah, I understand your frustration. I understand why I would be upset if I was you, if the TV is saying this, and then these idiots that they don't even watch boxing, at your job will come up to you, is like, what you think about Daniel? That boy looking good. He's the next best thing since
Exactly, I don't want to hear it no more, man. I want to see it.
You know what I'm saying? I'll be mad. I'll be mad too. But I just saw it coming. It's like the Big Baby Anderson dude. Or okay, let's put it like this. When I was living in Toledo with Robert Easter Jr.
Yeah.
Robert Easter Jr. Right? People were saying this. People were saying this. That and the third. I was like, dude. I even saw the dude one time get some jerk chicken. But
yeah, I remember you telling me, Mark.
I'm like, I told folks straight up, and I saw Albert Prince Bell at one of my fights. He was representing Toledo Thunder. We whooped their ass. I told folks he ain't all that. I was like, he's a good fighter, and he doesn't fight tall against shorter fighters. Like, and he gives his jab away, and he gives his height away. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, you just a hater. This and the third. I was like, you niggas don't even watch boxing. You sound like the fucking TV. You sound like a TV right now. They have all these expositions for these fighters leading up to fights. They have like the fight camp thing, and they have this thing, and they talk about his background and shit like that. And then people want to gravitate to this thing because they just building these fighters up. They want to build the fighters up on TV and not in the ring.
Yeah,
that's
I was going to say,
though, you know, that's like Canelo's doing. You know, Canelo's basically taking all these cherry picks, manufacturing all this resume with all these titles on it and everything. Like he jumping on David Benavidez old belt now, just immediately sweeps in for it. They make it accessible for him. He goes and get it. Then at the same time, they take David Benavidez and rank him one division up at 175, making the number one challenger. So he had to go have other problems with Artur Beterbiev and guys like that. Just to make room for this one guy, you know. But see, that's the problem that I'm talking about. It's not so much personally per fighter, but it is as the sport of boxing, because that type of thing is ruining stuff. Because Canelo, by making the moves he did, he took away some great fights for us. We could have been seeing him and Andre. We could have been seeing him and Charlo. All these fights should have been happening because that's what the people want to see. But when they want to get in there and start managing certain things and manufacturing careers, I mean that I don't respect that. I think fighters should be, their main goal should be proving that they're the best. If a fighter doesn't have that kind of quest and he doesn't fight like that, I ain't got no respect for him. I ain't got nothing for that fighter. But the fighters that going out there and that's really wants all the smoke and really trying to show, you know, hey man, you know, I'm the best out here and I'm gonna prove it. And I don't care what nobody say. This is what's gonna be showed. Hey man, that's a guy I follow.
Gary Russell Jr. Yeah, like Gary Russell Jr. He wants that smoke.
Yeah, he does. And everybody talking about he's crazy for asking for it. But you know what? Bud Crawford is not responding like somebody who ain't worried about it.
Facts, Black. Fact.
Well, that Gary situation is like, I don't know. I'm just like this. Crawford, he should have been doing his own thing. He should have been. I don't know if y'all read I don't know if y'all was in the What's Up at. No, I didn't send Crawford. That was somebody else. But
Benavidez.
Yeah, I saw that, Mike.
You start reading them things, and you start finding out these fighters ain't in a position to pick their fight. Some of these fighters are not in position to pick their fights. And if I was Crawford, I probably wouldn't be caring about no Gary Russell anyways. He could whoop all at the mouth. Then guess what? I will make a check. I'll make a list. If I can't get this fight, I can't get that fight. I can't get this fight. I can't get this fight. Blah, 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 we'll do whoop. Then probably, I won't have no choice but to take that fight. But Gary Russell, I mean, really to tell you the truth, he ain't got no business going to 147 without, this is what Gary needs to do. This is what Gary needs to do. He needs to shut the fuck up and move to 147. Move to 147.
Can't say that, bro. No, can't say that. Can't tell a man shut up. No, man. That man, if that man feel like he can go up there and do something, let him go up there and see.
I can say whatever I want. I'll pay these
Mike, if you want smoke, man, let him have it. Let him off the lead.
You can't shut up just because you don't agree. I'm just saying he got the right to go up there and try. If he go up there and get done,
I don't agree with what he said. What I'm saying is to go about it a different route. If your route ain't working, if your route don't work, then you got to try another route. I'm not saying I don't disagree with him. What I'm saying is that the situation is out of his hand.
What both of you saying,
so he has to put the situation in his hand. The same thing I say like a lot of these other fighters. You might be the fighter, but you the boss. You might want to tell the promoter, like, you do your job and this and the third, but there's something called trust but verify. You the boss. You mean to tell me you ain't gonna check your working bees? You ain't gonna check your money out there that's supposed to be working as your soldiers and bringing you back to the offer,
though. He sent an offer, so it ain't wolf tickets. He sent an offer.
Well, it don't matter if he sent an offer or not. He's not in control in this situation.
He can go out there and ask and put it, and like you say, he put his offer out there. If Bud don't take it, then it's on Bud. You can't fault that man for asking or trying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
As far as
anyway, that guy's looking for money. Is Gary Russell's looking for money at the end of the day. There's no way he can beat, but you know what I mean, it's just a waste of time. You know, let him fight Shakur Stevenson, maybe even go up to 135. You know what I mean? So he's too little. It's just clout, Jason, and everyone knows that. And I don't know why people are pushing Gary Russell. You know, he's too small.
I don't think he can go up to 147 or.
But I don't think he's clout chasing though. I don't think he's clout chasing. I think he really doing the fight. But what I'm saying is that
he's definitely clout chasing.
Situation, you got to do certain things, man. And shit talking is just not gonna say.
Exactly.
I think what was I about to say? I don't know. I don't think he can go up past 135, 140. But I'll tell you this: like, if you guys have followed him after the Lomachenko fight and how he, you know, steamrolled Johnny Gonzalez. I mean, Gary Russell can fucking fight. He was the most talented guy on that Olympic team other than Andre, like bar none. Like he can fucking fight. And I think he's had a lot of difficulty getting these people at 126 to fight him. Nobody at 126 really wanted to fight him. So they got to maneuver something to make some fights happen because
exactly.
Because something is just not working down there. I don't. Josh Warrington doesn't want to fight him. I don't care what he says. Shakur Stevenson, he'll get in there maybe, but you know, Top Rank, how they work.
He got to make his own opportunity, man. And if he go get dusted, he just get dusted, man. But hey, for trying, man, I take my hat off to him for trying, man. You know, he ain't got nothing to lose at that point. You know what I'm saying? So hey, why not?
Well,
you know?
well, if you put it that way, at least he did a lot more than a lot of these other fighters did when they wanted fights. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
You know, but like me and Tyrone said, it's like you got to be in control, man. And something don't, and whichever route he been running his career and stuff like that, it ain't been working, Jack.
Yeah, it ain't been working.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Something has to budge, and his brother can fight too. You look out for Antoine Russell. I think he dusted Devin Haney yesterday.
Woo, man,
his brother can fight. I'm telling you, that's how high I think of that whole family. Man. They can fight. I'm telling you.
Man, that's a nice accolade there, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like to see the guy try, man. It's just you know, I mean, the thing about it is, you know, we can think to ourselves, man, he get hit one time, it's a wrap, you know. But just think for a second. Let's just step outside the box for a second. Just imagine if he gets in there with a Bud and Bud can't quite hit him the way he need to hit him to get him out of there. I mean, as fast as his hands is, do you think Bud is going to have a easy time trying to outbox him? You know, I mean, because you know, if it comes down to something like that, he might have a shot, man. I mean, it's a long shot, but it's a shot.
I think it's ridiculous, man. You know, this whole thing with Haney and Crawford, it's boring. You gotta focus on your own division. I know Warrington doesn't want the fight, which is really a shame. You know, it's a shame because I do rate Warrington, but I mean that WBO strap that's vacant, and then you've got Gary who's WBC, IBF is Josh. I mean, there's not a lot there.
Who's the Gary? WBA champ in that? By the way,
I forgot. Leo? It's not Leo, is it?
No. Who is there? What the fuck?
Because he's super. I don't know, but it's hard for Gary because there's not a lot in that division. But it's just not a good look with the Haney thing. I don't like it. He's got to find some fight because at this point it seems like everyone's just bored. All these fighters are bored, calling out each other. You know, even Dillian was acting like he didn't know who Dubois was, and even Dillion's coach was saying, "Oh, I got game plans for Tyson Fury." Like, no one's focused really at this point. They're all bored out of their brain.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
Yeah,
tell you what,
even the thing about it, man, that would be, I think it would be a more marketable fight for especially Bud Crawford, because hell, man, he doesn't do the greatest of numbers, but I mean, people, might at first be like, but the closer you got to the fight, people will be like, well, let me just take a look. You know what I'm saying? So it might be a thing for Bob Arum to really capitalize off of it, because he's always talking about money. He ain't got money for the fights, and he already said, hey, man, I'll take the 1.5. Hey, I mean, if you got 1.5, why not? If you know you're going to get your money back in the profit, why not go ahead and say, well, go out there and destroy this this little guy, and we'll go on to the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Fine.
And the thing about sending the contract is like, if maybe Crawford's team has something going on, they're trying to figure out a fight. All right, but at the same time, is they could have hand wrote notes on that damn contract and sent it back. And the way it's kind of seeming is like they didn't get no feedback. They didn't get a yes or no. They didn't get nothing.
Exactly.
They just got like, well, you beneath me. We'll talk to you when we'll let you know if we need you.
Yeah. Right, fellas. I've got to get up out of here.
You better cut that shit out. You ain't going nowhere.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay. We're gonna have your ass for another hour.
Nah, man, it's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning over here. Sorry to cut it short. I gotta get off.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. You gotta come on a little bit early, man.
Well, I was going to, Mike. I normally come on at 10:30 over here, but I'd set it for 11:30 because of the fight. I didn't know how long the fight was gonna last, and plus the undercards. Because I watched that fucking. Oh man, what was that fight? Charlie Edwards' brother.
Hey, who was that? Who was that big ass black dude?
Oh no, Mike. I only
David
Adelaide.
I saw it on P's channel.
Yeah, he got some solid punching power, but that dude was not swinging back.
Right.
Nah, they gotta slow down on Adelaide, because I see things. He's very open and he's not as polished as guys like Joyce and Dubois. But they're young, man. It's his third fight, so we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah. Are you in your car watching? Sound like you're in your car or something.
Yeah, I am.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, I'm up out of here, but thanks for everyone coming on the live chat on the panel. Thanks. Salute to the chat. I'm going to just say thank you very much to everyone for coming through. Much appreciated. Sorry I've got to cut it short, but it's late over here. So I'm going to get up out of here. So peace to you all, and I'll catch you on next.
Q-Truck.